For 10,000 years, the Galactic Council had enforced only one absolute law across every star system, every empire, every civilization that crawled out of the dark between the stars. The first law: no sentient being shall harm, threaten, capture, or target a human child. Violation means extinction. Not imprisonment. Not diplomacy. Extinction. The law had not been written out of love for humanity. It had been written out of fear. The elder races, the Vreth, the Solokai, the stone-cold Drenathi, they had watched humanity for centuries. They had seen what humans did when provoked. When wounded. When grieving. But nothing, in the recorded history of the galaxy had ever documented what humans did when someone hurt their children. No one had been foolish enough to find out. Until now. The grand chamber of the Galactic Council floated above the gas giant Thuris Prime, a spinning ring of platinum and glass where 200 species sent their voices. High Chancellor Vorex of the Drenathi stood at the center podium, his 6 eyes scanning the assembled delegates. The human colony on Kepler 7 sits on a vein of solarium or worth more than 40 star systems, he announced. The adult humans have refused to vacate. The colony is small. Mostly, families. A Solokai delegate shifted nervously. Families means children. Children who are not soldiers, Vorex replied smoothly. We will not harm them. We will simply pressure the colony. A targeted orbital bombardment of their infrastructure. Cut power. Cut food supply. The adults will surrender. The children will be unharmed. You are dancing on the edge of the first law, the Solokai warned. Vorex waved a claw. The first law says we cannot attack human children. We are attacking their infrastructure. The vote passed. 47 species in favor. 12 abstaining. 3, including the Solokai, voted no and immediately recalled their ambassadors. They knew what was coming. The colony's name was simple: New Redriver. Population: 2,200. Farmers, engineers, teachers. And 847 children. When the Drenathi warships cut power to the colony's heating grid in the dead of a -40-degree night, 11 children were hospitalized with hypothermia within 6 hours. 3 of them were under the age of 5. Colonel James Whittaker, the colony's defense commander, pulled the emergency broadcast and transmitted one message to every human vessel, station, and world within 40 light-years. His voice was completely calm. This is Whittaker. Kepler 7. Council forces have attacked our children. 11 hospitalized. 3 critical. I am invoking Omega Protocol. All human assets respond. Authorization: Red January. God help them. He clicked off the radio. Then he looked at his deputy, Lieutenant Marcus Webb, and said quietly, "Get the children into the bunkers." Every single one. Webb asked, "What are we going to do, sir?" Whittaker stared at the Drenathi fleet on the orbital scanner, 40 warships, gleaming like teeth. "We're going to remind the galaxy," he said, "why they wrote the first law." It took humanity 11 hours to respond. 11 hours. The Drenathi High Chancellor had expected weeks of diplomacy, protests, political noise. He had not expected 72 human warships dropping out of faster-than-light travel in a perfect surrounding formation around his fleet before his sensors even screamed a warning. The human flagship, the USS Ryan Carter, hailed the Drenathi command vessel. The face on the screen was Admiral Diane Holloway. She was 53 years old, silver-haired, and she looked like someone's grandmother. She did not yell. She did not threaten. She simply said, "3 children are in critical condition because of your order, Chancellor. You have 60 seconds to surrender your entire fleet before I demonstrate exactly why the first law exists." Vorex scoffed. "You are outnumbered. Your ships are." 58 seconds, she said. He laughed. She waited. At 0, the human fleet fired, not weapons, but focused EMP pulses that stripped every Drenethi warship down to dead metal floating in space without a single crew casualty. Then the Ryan Carter docked with the Drenethi flagship. Personally, Admiral Holloway walked onto Vorex's bridge with 4 Marines and no armor. She placed a single document on his command table. Unconditional surrender. Full reparations to the colony. Your personal trial before a human military tribunal. She looked at him. And a public broadcast, every frequency, every species, reminding the galaxy what the first law means. Vorex stared at her. You would start a war over children? Holloway leaned forward. Chancellor, she said softly, we ended wars over children. He signed. Every species in the galaxy received the transmission. The image of 42 Drenethi warships, dark and powerless, drifting like broken toys. The Solokai delegate watched it in silence, then turned to his aide and said simply, this is why the first law was written. Not to protect human children from us. He paused. To protect us from what humans become when someone doesn't.